You know, a wise man by the name of George W. Bush once said,
Fool me once, shame on you. If fool me, we can't get fooled again.
wait, that's not how it's supposed to go, you idiot. The saying is actually, fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me, which is exactly what I thought while watching the trailer for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple yesterday. Holy shit, this actually looks pretty good, I told myself, with there being a heavy focus on Jack O'Connell's character of Jimmy Crystal, someone who we met at the end of 28 Years Later when the film did this weird tonal shift thing from visceral horror and a coming-of-age story to something reminiscent of a Saturday morning episode of the Power Rangers. I mean, seriously, what in the absolute hell were they thinking there? And before any Brits jump down my throat like they did in my review, yes, I know who the hell Jimmy Savile is. I know all about the, YouTube guidelines here. Word that begins with A and rhymes with juice towards, this is difficult. People who probably really enjoy Minecraft and Fortnite and people who don't even know what those things are in the first place.
Right.
So yeah, I know the whole Jimmy connection there, but I don't think I, nor anyone else who brought up that particular sequence, has an issue with the characterization of him, more as how the scene was presented, and I feel like if we get more of that in Bone Temple, it's probably not going to go over well with the diehards that expect the style and tone of the first two films.
He's out of line, but he's right.
Anyway, long tangent there, but simply put, this trailer looks as promising as the trailer for 28 Years Later looked, and well, we see how that turned out. Sure, it was a decent film, don't get me wrong, I'm not going to hate on it or anything, but it was a far cry from what the trailer gave us, and it didn't deliver on the hype that it set itself up for, leading to a lot of fan disappointment and backlash. Now, what makes matters even worse in the trailer for Bone Temple is the name at the bottom of the credits here. You may not know who she is. You may have been living under a rock for the last 10 years, so allow me to enlighten you with a brief, totally mature clip that perfectly explains it.
Monica, you gotta fly.
No.
Black girl magic! Black girl magic! Black girl magic!
That's right, dear viewer, the director of inarguably the biggest financial disaster in Marvel history, which resulted in an over $200 million loss for Disney, somehow, someway, got offered the director's chair for a film in the 28 Days franchise.
Fuck.
Now look, I'm a forgiving person, alright? I think we should all be. After all, mistakes happen all the time, and it's because of those mistakes that we're able to grow as people. All that's needed is to take some accountability, self-reflect, and move forwards in the hope of a better tomorrow, something that, to be sure, Nia practices in her own life. Who the hell am I kidding? That's just for all of us mere mortals bound to this plane of simple existence, not Hollywood figureheads, because instead of taking it on the chin and apologizing for how terribly she mismanaged the Marvels, old Nia decided to just deflect any and all criticism back on the writers and production.
No way!
I want you just for a moment to imagine my shock. Quote, one of the issues I had with Candyman and the Marvels was the lack of a really solid script, which is always gonna just wreak havoc on the whole process.
I'm sorry, I'm allergic to bullshit.
Obviously, the writing for the Marvels was an absolute mess, delivering us bland characters with even blander dialogue, pacing that jumped from planet-ending cataclysmic events to prolonged musicals on mystical ocean planets, and loads, and I mean loads, of cats.
Really?
So, Nia would actually have a point here if we were all stupid and didn't have access to the internet. But unfortunately for her, we're not, and we do.
What is that? What the fuck is that?
Now, just hang on a damn minute here. Not only did you not take any responsibility for the objective, critical, and financial failure that the film is, despite being the top on-site figurehead for the film as the director, but you tried to blame the writers for all of it while being one of the writers.
Are you retarded?
Jesus wept. Anyway, I said all that to say this. Things are not looking good for 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. I don't have any faith in a director that has not only failed on several occasions, but refuses to take any accountability for those failures, despite being seemingly gifted opportunities, because there's nothing in her career that justifies being selected to helm this thing in the first place. And it doesn't help the situation, it really doesn't, when the first film borderline scammed viewers into the cinema by promising something in the trailer that wasn't even remotely like the final product. What looked to be a long, enduring story of a father and son navigating the dangers of a post-apocalyptic world, forcing the son to either grow up or die, turned into a slow-paced, contrived meander through the woods in the hopes of finding Ralph Fiennes. Sure, like I said, it was alright, I didn't hate it or anything, but you'd have to be a Disney employee if you think the trailer didn't misrepresent the film as a whole.
Is that like a personal attack or something?
Well, what do you think? As a longtime fan of the series and horror in general, I made this video to get a conversation started, just to see what the fanbase has to say about the trailer released yesterday. Am I blowing this out of proportion? Or are my concerns valid? Either way, I'm walking into the cinema in January with some very, very tempered expectations. Fool me twice? Shame on me. Now let me know your thoughts in the comments below, whether you agree or disagree with my thoughts, and I'll make sure to meet y'all down there. Anyway, I appreciate y'all for checking out my video. I'll talk to y'all later.